Hi, today we will work on the job work of the customers. Typically, in the business, what happens is you get a raw material from the customers, you receive the material, you convert that into the required finished good, and send the material back to the customer. In this process, there are two, three major things which the business people typically look into is one is the material that comes from the customer should not be added to your inventory because this item belongs to the customer and you need to track it separately. At the same time, we have to ensure that whatever the material we received from the customer, it is converted into the finished good model and it has gone back to the customer. So once the delivery challan, basically you will send the material outward delivery challan. Once the outward delivery challan is converted, you can convert that into the invoice because customer has to pay the money for that. So what we do now is we'll create a two, three small things here. First and foremost, we define a customer, a simple data point to say, what customer data we need here. And, the basic data of a customer is there. Let us say we define it as a job work customer so that we know which is the kind of a customer he is for us. Say, typically we'll say Tamil Nadu, for example, here. This is just a state from where the customer is sending the data to us. Rest of the information required based on your business need, like billing, shipping address, you can take it. In this case, we'll go with very simple that we created a customer 24, which is mainly a taking care of a customer master. So we need a couple of products. So what we do is we have a facility to upload the master data. So the advantage of this model is you create a data and the master data can be created and product masters can upload it into thousands of records at a time. So we create two, one finished good, one raw material, just to show the functionality how it works here. So I'll say job work, basically indicating that this is the finished good job work. Same thing I'll say raw material job work. Typically assumption is this is the same data we are going to get from the customer and we convert that into numbers and while the raw material comes in the kg. Okay, so since we don't maintain the inventory over here, but we need to keep the record here. So let us say our stock in the system is 0 and we just collect from the customer side. Okay, so once the master data is there, this is the same model. You can upload up to 1,000 records and technically you can upload, data uploads in about 2 to 3 minutes kind of thing. Once the data is there, we just validate it. So what the system going to check all the parameters, everything is matching or not. If it is matching, we just go and save it. So the idea is we created a product. One is the FG finished good, another one is the raw material. So we created a customer, we created two products. So once it is over, it's a pretty simple business for us. This is our ERP dashboard where let's go to the manufacturing. Typically you have, if you want to have the bill of material, like defining the product structure, parent and child relation, you can define. Or else there are certain cases where you don't have a control in what material customer send. So what you do is just go to the create inward delivery challan. So we just say that, customer job work, that is the 24 which we created here. Okay, so here we recognize that we get only the raw material. So if you remember, we have the raw material job work. Let us say we received to our location stores, say 100 kg material we are receiving here. Okay, now what happens here is we have this customer who has sent the 100 kg of a raw material. And if any remarks like, stock is okay or any comments you want to mention, you can just mention there. Okay, so like this, you can have a multiple line item. Sometimes customers send 4 to 5 raw material, you can just take into system there. There are few features like sometimes if this particular customer has defined a sales order from his side and that raw material can be mapped to the sales order line item here. Okay. Once the inward delivery challenge, basically the material has come in trade with the IDC 91. Now, typical model is once the raw material comes inside, this item will not be there in your inventory because this stock is separate from the what you will be having in a system. So let us check where is the stock now. This is the raw material we have, and we just check. So if you remember, this is the raw material we have, and there are 100 quantity has come. If you look at this is not part of your inventory because this is completely inward delivery challenge. So against inward delivery challenge from the customer, the material has come into the store's location 100 number. This gives the confidence that the stock is come inside the system. Once the stock is there, so typically what happens, you will be converting that into the either the finished good or the semi-finished good plating, whatever the operation do it, just go ahead. Let us say now the time is for the sending the finished good because raw material has come, you are sending the finished good. Let us say we have the customer 24. The moment you select, the system opens the inward delivery challenge against which you have to send the outward. In the sense, the way the AC Touch ERP developed is you have the raw material you received, a particular document is there, and against which you have to send the material outside. So there is a traceability of the material across each. Okay. Now we say that our raw material is finished good job work. This is the item we are sending. Say we just say a particular service against which we did. Maybe we say 100 numbers. Maybe the cost is say 10 rupee 95 or 86 paisa per unit, right? If you are sending the return raw material, you can check box this. Byproduct is the scenario where in some of the case what happens is you have the scrap materials are there which you have to send back, but you don't need to charge the customer for that, right? Because that belongs to the customer itself. So what you are going to charge is this material, right? Now you have the finished good and the how much quantity. Now you have to map to the that particular line item. So I'm saying line item 1, and let us say how much I have to consume against that. Now the only challenge in this case, since you don't have a bill of material, what you do, you just calculate to make 100 piece, maybe let's say you need a 12 kg, right? So you say consume 12 kg and 100 piece finished good and raw material 12 kg is consumed, right? You just, once it is done, you just save it. So that leads to the outward delivery challenge, basically 114 the outward delivery channel, and your stock has gone out, right? So what we did is against the inward, we received a raw material and we sent the finished good and we consumed the some portion, about 12 kg we spent, right? So let us see how much is the stock is available with us. If you remember, the product is job work and we search it, we go back here. Now system says I have a 88 kg, correct? That means earlier we have received 100 kg. The 12 kg of a raw material converted to another finished good and we sent across. And this is what is remaining with us. Okay. The simple process here, we received the raw material from the customer. We kept it aside. We converted to the finished good we sent across. Once it is over, let us say you want to see the product, what has happened to the raw material that you received. Okay, so we'll say that raw material job work. It is sort of a traceability, say when the material came, how it came, what exactly happened, all the detail you can see. So the what the system is saying that IDC 91, inward deliver 91 on this day, inward raw material. Basically, against this customer, you see the raw material 100 kg. It has come to the stores. These are the documental evidences. Now, against this, the remaining is 88 kg. Because end of the day, every job work that we create or the inward delivery challenge we create, we need to how much is there, right? At the same time, what the system says is through the outward delivery challenge, for the same customer, once the work is done, you consume 12 kg. Please, if you note down that what we are doing is the raw material side. We are not considering the finished good here. So raw material has come inside, we consume 12 kg. So the remaining is 88 kg. That's how you get a data. There are some other mechanism of controlling it with inward delivery challan, with the work order, etc. That we will address at a later stage. Okay, thanks a lot.